Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and about a year ago almost, I think a little bit more than that or a little less, I made a video detailing how you could turn a Wii U into a Gamecube. Not really, it was basically just me hacking the virtual console part of it, or at least the virtual Wii segment of the Wii U console, and running GameCube emulator called Nintendo and basically running games through it. It was almost perfect, it was flawless, and the fact that it showed that the game, the actual system itself, the Wii U, could play GameCube games while Nintendo wouldn't allow them, was pretty interesting indeed. Now, at the time, I actually had a question as to not being able to use the gamepad controller to my to the levels that I expected. Now, I know owning a Wii U is sort of a sort of an old thing at this point. The Wii U is an old console. It's phased out, entirely gone. At this point, it's all about the Nintendo Switch. But I wanted to show you all something pretty damn cool that you could do with the Wii U, provided you have it. And I believe it doesn't even matter. You can actually do it right now if you own the console. I did this on the latest version as of this video's release date, and it went through flawlessly. Now, I am talking about playing GameCube games on the Wii U, but the titling that I've given this, the portable Wii U, or the portable GameCube rather, is something that comes with an asterisk. It's something that has to be quoted. What I mean by portable is we're going to actually play GameCube games through the gamepad itself. Now, for refresher's sake, let's go over the Wii U again. The Wii U is a console that comes with a gamepad. It's one of those gamepads, it's one of those technologies that I'm still kind of baffled by today's day and age. It's able to stream perfectly at about 60 frames per second, 480p to this tablet. So basically, whatever you're playing your game, you know, if you're playing Deus Ex, for example, on the Wii U, you can switch it to off TV and basically have the whole game stream perfectly to your gamepad and just play it right off there as if it was a portable handheld console. You can kind of see the idea of how the Switch evolved it by actually just making it a full hybrid system, you know, no need for having a gamepad, anything of the sort. And to this day, I still argue it's about the coolest thing on the Wii U you can do. When I first got the Wii U, I played Wind Waker HD, I played Assassin's Creed 3, because at that point I just bought the system and I had to get a bunch of games for it, but I like the fact that you could play them off TV. When I did my video about playing old GameCube games, I was playing Most Wanted on my Wii U. Now, at the time, you could stream the footage to your gamepad controller, but you couldn't control it using the actual device inside it. Which is why, as of about 2-3 weeks ago, I actually was remodding my Wii U entirely. I had it patched up and everything. And I'll guide you through it just in a basic, short, summarized steps as to what I essentially did. Basically, there's an actual modification for the Wii U that's running around called HaxChi. HaxChi is basically a way for you to launch a homebrew channel payload on your Wii U. So how it works is you actually have to legally purchase a DS Virtual Console game. Now there's a whole list you can choose from, but the cheapest one that is available, and is the one that you should use because it's the one that has the smallest footprint, is BrainAge DS. I bought BrainAge DS with actual money. I bought the game legit, totally legal. Once I had obtained the game, I actually downloaded the HaxChi installer, put it onto an SD card, stuck it into my Wii U, and using the Wii U's internet browser, I was able to launch the Homebrew channel. Basically, there is a website available where you can go to it, you can launch the payload, and you can get access to the Homebrew channel. For me, I installed HaxChi onto the actual game, BrainAge. Basically, what happened is it overtook the BrainAge files and just loaded it with the HaxChi payload. So you could basically run the Homebrew channel without ever using the internet again. From that point on, I used something called Mocha Custom Firmware, which is a new CFW that's out for the Wii U. By using Mocha CFW, I was able to basically run unsigned code on the Wii U. Code that basically Nintendo hasn't authorized to run, homebrew. Now with that, the actual developers, or I believe close to the developers of Nintendo, created something called the Nintendo Forwarder. By using the Nintendo Forwarder, you're basically able to load Nintendo with the actual caveat of using your gamepad with it. Let me tell you why this is pretty awesome. So far, I've actually tried 2 games with this entire method. I've tried Pokemon Coliseum, a game that I've always wanted to play but never really had the chance to, and Metroid Prime I had to try because I'm a huge Metroid fan. And I love both of them. Both of the games work absolutely flawlessly. Metroid Prime, you were able to play 60 frames per second almost flawlessly on this device. I was able to go all over my house, provided, you know, I didn't go too far away, because remember, the gamepad is still tethered to the actual system itself. And I was able to play fucking Metroid Prime or any GameCube game anywhere I went. Now, I understand this isn't portable and you still have to be in your house, and you might ask, why don't you just use an actual television? Well, The fun part about it is it's just one of those things that you want to do because you can. And frankly, that's how I do with a lot of the systems that are now officially phased out. Systems like the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360, and the Wii U. I have hacked versions of them all over, and I run hacked stuff on them all the time because at the end of the day, nobody's taking care of these systems anyway, so you might as well. I'm not hurting anybody. With the Wii U, it's ultimately become the best emulation machine I own at this point. The gamepad is perfect. It's amazing to play games on the SNES era, the NES era, Game Boy Advance, although any Nintendo library catalog of games up until the Wii U can now be perfectly played, almost perfectly, there's some exceptions, right there on the Nintendo Wii U, which makes it probably one of the best Nintendo consoles worth owning. Now, that comes with, of course, an asterisk. Obviously, it's not the best console that Nintendo's ever made, obviously noticing the flop of it, but realizing that now you can do all this kind of stuff makes it worth owning. I've compiled some footage where I've actually seen how these games play out, and up until this point, I've actually made it halfway into Metroid Prime, which it plays perfectly up until this point. And the gamepad, being 480p itself, is able to run these games absolutely fine. It looks just like it should. And by playing some GameCube games on it, I was pretty impressed seeing just how the gamepad can be used, and it asks another question to me. If modders made this just so easily accessible for the Wii U, it made me wonder why Nintendo hasn't done the same. And knowing that the Nintendo Switch is a more powerful system than the fucking Wii U, maybe Nintendo should get on board and kind of get on this. I mean, I would love to play Mario Sunshine. I would love to be playing fucking Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3. Oh, 3 has them. Well, no, fuck the motion controls. You got them Joy-Cons, motherfucker. If you're releasing Prime 4, you might as well get down and release that trilogy on the fucking Switch. The Wii U can do it, the Switch being a much more powerful system than the Wii U, or at least marginally powerful, whatever, you get the point. It should be able to play some of these. In fact, fuck it, what am I saying? GameCube games should run just fine on the Nintendo Switch. Knowing that Android phones are now running GameCube games, the Switch has no exception, ladies and gentlemen. I think, if anything, we should be seeing some of these GameCube virtual console games kick off on the Switch. The Wii U can do it, the Nintendo Switch should be able to do it from a fucking technical standpoint. If Nintendo doesn't want to cater to it, then they're basically cucking us entirely. All right, now, please don't bother, there is really no way to defend this. The fact is, such things are possible. And knowing how they play in the most closest proof of concept that I could, by actually playing half of Metroid Prime and a chunk of Pokemon Coliseum and a bunch of other games in my GameCube library, I'd be so down to play the rest of it just using the Wii U and its gamepad. It was a weird thing that they made in the first place, but at the end of the day, it paid fucking off. So big kudos to the gamepad. I wanted to make a little video out of it because I do like fucking around with my consoles. I'm a modder, I'm a tinkerer, I like this kind of shit, and I figured if I find something pretty cool that I do enjoy and I'm getting a lot of use out of, I'm going to share it with all of you people. So let me know what you think about these hacks, alright? If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. We don't need to get Mr. Moral about, you know, what's going on with the Wii U, okay? Don't pirate games or any of that shit. Please don't. Alright, but hey, if you got a Wii U laying around, there's nothing wrong with running some of these mods and getting more use out of the system. This is me, Mudahar, and I am out.